Oh, got me dancing. We're having very much fun on the very first of 2021 Friday Live, which I'm now calling 11 and 11. Why? Because I thought I do it at 11 o'clock Eastern. Might as well take the questions that I've had for the week and try and give 11 bullet points to an answer. So probably the biggest question that I've gotten in the last couple of weeks is, why is my resolution starting to tank already? It's the 15th of January. So we've been focusing a lot at Shock Your Potential on resolutions this month. I've been talking about it in my morning motivation. We've been kind of blogging about it. We've been having some dialogues with the team. And I think this is a really fascinating time to talk, obviously, about resolutions, not necessarily before the first of the year, but when we get to the midway point of the first month. If you follow my morning motivation, we've talked about how kind of the 80-20 rule is impacted by resolutions. And the reason being is, and as I try and sit up a little taller, is that 80% of resolutions are broken before the end of the first month of January. So why do we do things that we know are probably not going to last? Why do we set ourselves up for perhaps some failure, or at least maybe not success? So I have 11 points on this. Number one, let's talk about the definition of the word resolution. So resolution is the firm decision to do or not do something, the firm decision to do or not do something. So oftentimes when we're making that decision, it's not necessarily a firm decision. It's more like a bold statement that we're putting out there. I'm going to lose 20 pounds in the month of January. I'm going to get up every day and run. And then somewhere in the first few days, you're like, wait a minute, why did I make such a bold decision? Why did I make that bold statement? And I think it comes down to the definition. Because if it's truly a resolution, you have made a firm decision. You haven't made just a rash decision or a rash comment. You've actually thought through the process. Also, when we look at resolutions, we have to ask ourselves, is this a radical shift in where I am now, either personally or professionally? Or is this not only a realistic, but a reasonable expectation I can set for myself? So if we're going from one extreme to the next, we might not be as realistic in what we're trying to accomplish. Number three is, are we building habits? So we know that going from 0 to 95 is a little challenging on many, many levels. But here's the key. If we're instead looking at building habits and we look at that in those little bite-sized pieces, we're more likely to stick with what we've got going on. That goes to number four. Are we trying to do an all or nothing? So remember, resolution definition is a firm decision to do or not do something. But if it's an all or nothing approach, chances are we're going to have some struggles with that. Number five, my question is your resolution a big goal? And you have a roadmap with it? So in other words, are you trying to achieve one big thing, but you understand that the roadmap along the way will take you to different parts of the journey? Many of you know that my husband and I just got back from about 3 months on the road, mostly in Florida, and we were traveling all throughout. We knew we wanted to be in Florida. We didn't know exactly when. We knew that we needed to go through several other places on the way. And so you know that it's not just the end destination, that you realize you still along the way have to put gas in the tank. You have to stop and look for directions. You got to maybe stop and slow down a little bit on the way, maybe stop and enjoy the view. And all those pieces can be incredible elements of a truly good resolution in terms of seeing that it's not just about what that end goal is, because we got a long journey to get there. With that, number six is, along the way, there's also going to be roadblocks, there's going to be detours, and there's probably going to be some potholes along the way. So when we recognize that it's not always a clean, smooth surface, then we know that along the way, when we have those things that we fall off maybe, or we get detoured, then we don't say that just stops the trip. We didn't have to stop, an entire journey if the tire blows. We know we have to stop, pull over, and put on a new tire. So number seven is to remind ourselves that Rome was not built in a day. And yes, this may be a little bit reminiscent of the habit building, but to give ourselves the break that if we're trying to have radical change and we are looking at something that's a monumental shift from where we are, that we better give ourselves a little credit along the way to do what I say is number 8, and that is to view and set little wins. So along the journey, we want to have areas where we're winning before we hit that full end goal. give ourselves a little serotonin boost, give us something that says, okay, you can keep going. That moves into number 9, which is you can't do this alone. You need to have an accountability partner. One accountability partner. Why? Because sometimes we make our resolutions and we make them as big, bold exclamations to the world. I am going to not, I'll probably call her out. One of my good friends, I don't know how she's doing on this, but she made the big, bold statement on Facebook that she was giving up candy for the month of January. Now, she and I have the same candy habit, so I don't know how she's doing it. And she may be doing perfect. But I have found that when I make big, bold exclamations in social media, for instance, and I know I can't back them up, then I'm already in the hole. And that doesn't feel good. But instead, having one accountability partner where you share that goal, that resolution with, they can help you stay on track. This is why, the world of business coaches, life coaches, fitness coaches is so important, because you have that one person that's in your corner. So number 10 is, as Yoga Dog always says, breathe. Give yourself a little break. Make sure that you are taking time to relax and enjoy the journey, and understand that you are going to have some struggles, and it's okay. So number 11 in why are my resolutions not sticking already by the 15th of January goes back to number 1, to remind ourselves of the definition of a resolution. And that is, if it is a firm decision to do or not to do something, then we have to make sure that that decision is well thought out, that's in our best intentions, and that we have the tools and mental fortitude to get there. And if we don't, it doesn't mean that you have to let it go, but it means that you need to go back and fix one of the steps along the way to give you staying power. Now, if you're on the 15th of January and you said, I was going to get up and I was going to go to the gym, or I was going to go run 3 days a week, and you haven't done that yet, don't give it up. Don't say it's over because I've already failed. It just hit a roadblock, or sometimes a pothole, and figure out what's a reasonable next step to get you back on track. So as we go into this year, I just thought we would have some fun with our Friday Live videos. Always 11 points in under 11 minutes, just enough to get us thinking and send us off into the weekend as a great reminder that we can do anything as long as we're always trying to shock our potential. Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend.